But what do you do when there is just flat out rejection of the notion somebody needs to see a doctor? And they don't have to be suicidal, but they could be in some way self-harming. They could be withdrawing and isolating themselves from, because I isolated myself quite a bit, but withdrawing from society. Like, what happens then?
Well, if you're a family member or a friend, or you got to realize that you may not be able to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And you've got to get some support yourself in this. So if it's a partner, well, maybe you need to ask for help in getting them help from other family members.
Yeah.
Enlarge the circle. And the other thing is, one has to realize one's own limitations. As a friend, as a partner, as a family member. And sometimes a person suffering from mental illness needs to take the time to come to a conclusion. And this isn't true if they're out of touch with reality, of course. Then that becomes an emergency. But if a person's ill and they don't want help, if one can at least keep the communication going and not get angry with them and say, well, I'm frustrated. I tried to help you. You won't take it. Well, too bad then.
Yeah.
Because that's a natural human reaction, to be frustrated, to be a little angry that they're not the person that you want them to be, that they've always been.
Yeah.
And if you have a partner with mental illness, well, yeah, they're not the person that you may have married or joined up with. And yeah, they're going through a very bad time, and it's easy to be frustrated when they won't take help. And so one has to understand one's own feelings.
Yeah.
And maybe talk to other people about how frustrated you are that so-and-so won't get help.
Yeah.
You can't, and it takes time.
Yeah.
And
are there any strategies that you would recommend? You want to stay on good graces, but they may then become resentful because they view you as the enemy and trying to get them for help, but they're okay in their mind. Are there any sort of strategies where you can get them to sort of look at that experience as a helpful one? And I'm thinking, for example, say that I was not getting help. Everyone knew I needed help. I didn't want the help because I thought I was absolutely fine. And is there a way to sort of put something in front of me to go, okay, well, maybe, and to put reason back into my mind or anyone else's?
I remember that at the beginning, you agreed to come see me reluctantly.
Yeah.
But one of the things Lisa did was she agreed to come back. But I said, Lisa, do you have anyone you really trust that you can bring with you? And you brought a senior, assistant in your office or on your staff. She was lovely.
Yeah.
But I think it made Lisa feel less vulnerable when she knows that sitting beside her is a person she can trust, because she didn't know me. And so if a person's unwilling to accept help from yourself, let's say, well, then maybe talk to someone else and say, well, you don't believe me, right? It might be hard to talk to me, or, maybe you're angry with me. Is there someone else you can talk to?
Yeah.
Just go and talk to them and see whether they think there's an issue.